Imagine walking into a room and commanding attention without raising your voice, threatening anyone, or trying to prove yourself. No intimidation, no fake confidence, no desperate need to dominate the conversation. And yet somehow, people naturally listen to you. Most people misunderstand respect completely. They believe respect comes from fear. They think the loudest person is the strongest. The coldest person is the most powerful. The most intimidating person automatically wins. But history repeatedly proves the opposite. Again and again, the people who rule through fear eventually lose the very thing they thought they controlled. Because fear may create obedience, but it never creates loyalty. In the late 1990s, one of the most feared corporate executives in America controlled a billion-dollar empire through humiliation, intimidation, and psychological terror. Executives feared speaking around him. Employees obeyed him instantly. Wall Street praised him as a genius. For a while, his strategy looked unstoppable. But hidden underneath that success was a fatal psychological flaw. The moment he showed weakness, the very people he had spent years controlling turned against him all at once. Not because they suddenly became brave, but because fear creates silent resentment. And resentment is patient. It waits quietly for the perfect moment to strike. By the end of this video, you will understand why some people naturally command respect, while others secretly lose it, even when they have money, power, or status. And more importantly, you will understand the dangerous psychological mistake that causes people to quietly disrespect you without ever saying it to your face. #intro. We have all heard the phrase, respect is earned, not given. Most people hear that sentence and think it is just motivational advice. But psychologically, it is much deeper than that. Human beings are survival-driven social creatures. Your brain is constantly scanning the people around you and asking one question: are you safe or are you dangerous? That single question shapes almost every relationship in your life. Who trusts you? Who avoids you? Who supports you? Who secretly resents you? And who would stand beside you when everything falls apart? Because real respect is not built through intimidation, it is built through emotional security. The moment people feel humiliated, controlled, ignored, or diminished around you, their brain quietly shifts into defense mode. And once that happens, they may still smile at you, but psychologically, they stop standing with you. That is the part most people never notice. Someone can obey you while secretly disliking you. They can praise you publicly while resenting you privately. They can work for you while emotionally disconnecting from you. And the dangerous part is, you often do not realize it until the moment you need loyalty the most. Today, to understand how respect actually works, we need to go back to the year 1789. A British naval captain named William Bligh was leading a long and exhausting voyage across the Pacific Ocean aboard the Bounty. Bligh believed leadership meant absolute control. He constantly insulted officers in front of the crew, punished small mistakes aggressively, cut food rations over minor issues, and ruled through humiliation instead of trust. In his mind, fear guaranteed obedience. And technically, he was right. The crew followed orders. Nobody openly challenged him. Discipline remained strict. From the outside, everything looked under control. But psychologically, something dangerous was happening beneath the surface. Every public humiliation slowly stripped away the crew's dignity. Every insult created resentment. Every moment of fear weakened emotional loyalty. And when human beings feel trapped, controlled, or psychologically cornered, the brain triggers something called psychological reactance. Psychological reactance is a defensive response that occurs when people feel their freedom or autonomy is being taken away. The brain begins craving control again. Not politely, aggressively. The more pressure people feel, the stronger the emotional urge becomes to resist the source of that pressure. Captain Bligh thought his crew respected him. In reality, they were emotionally counting down the days until they could escape him. Then eventually, the pressure exploded. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, members of the crew staged one of the most famous mutinies in history. They dragged Captain Bligh from his bed, forced him into a tiny open boat with a few loyal men, and abandoned him in the ocean. He lost his ship, he lost his authority, and most importantly, he lost the loyalty of the people beneath him. Because fear can force temporary obedience, but it cannot create genuine respect. And without genuine respect, authority eventually collapses. Ernest Shackleton. In 1914, Shackleton led an expedition to Antarctica aboard a ship called the Endurance. The mission quickly turned into a nightmare. The ship became trapped in thick Antarctic ice. Months passed without escape. The freezing pressure slowly crushed the ship apart. Eventually, the Endurance sank beneath the ice completely. The crew was stranded in one of the deadliest environments on Earth. No rescue, no communication, freezing temperatures, starvation, isolation, and almost no hope of survival. In situations like this, many leaders become harsher. They tighten control. They demand blind obedience. They hoard resources. They rule through fear. But Shackleton did something psychologically brilliant. He reduced the distance between himself and his men. He worked beside them, shared hardships equally, protected morale constantly, and treated scientists and laborers with the same level of dignity. When supplies became limited, Shackleton quietly gave extra food to weaker crew members. He understood something most leaders never learn. Human beings can endure unbelievable suffering if they feel emotionally valued. That feeling changes everything. Because when people feel respected, the brain becomes more cooperative, trusting, and emotionally committed to the group. And the results were extraordinary. For months, the crew survived freezing winds, exhaustion, hunger, and isolation without turning on one another. No mutiny, no rebellion, no collapse of loyalty. Every single man survived. Not because Shackleton terrified them, but because they trusted him. This is one of the strongest examples of reciprocal loyalty in history. When people genuinely feel respected, they naturally become more loyal to the person who gave them that feeling. In simple terms, respect creates commitment. Fear creates escape plans. Most people completely misunderstand dominance. They think interrupting others makes them look confident. They think acting cold makes them look powerful. They think humiliating people raises their status. But psychologically, the opposite usually happens. When someone constantly disrespects others, observers unconsciously interpret it as insecurity. Because secure people do not constantly need to prove superiority. In a widely discussed workplace study published by the Harvard Business Review, researchers Christine Porath and Christine Pearson examined how disrespect affects behavior inside professional environments. The results were disturbing. Employees who experienced disrespect became less motivated, less productive, and emotionally withdrawn. Many intentionally reduced their effort at work. Some lost concentration for long periods of time. Others eventually quit entirely. But the most important discovery was this: the disrespectful leaders themselves lost credibility. People did not see them as strong. They saw them as emotionally unstable and less competent. Because the human brain naturally distrusts people who make others feel small. Think about the people you genuinely admire in your own life. The people you trust deeply. Are they constantly trying to dominate every interaction? Do they humiliate people publicly? Do they remind everyone how important they are? Usually not. The people we respect most are often the people who make others feel respected first. They listen carefully, stay emotionally controlled, and make people feel psychologically safe around them. That is real authority, not intimidation, not aggression, not fake dominance. In 1968, researchers Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson documented something now known as the Pygmalion Effect. Their research showed that human expectations strongly influence human behavior. When people are treated as intelligent, capable, and valuable, they often begin performing better naturally. But when people are treated as inferior or incompetent, performance tends to decline. Why? Because human beings unconsciously adapt to the psychological environment around them. Respect changes behavior. The way you treat people shapes the version of themselves they bring around you. If you constantly treat someone like they are untrustworthy, eventually the relationship becomes defensive and hostile. But when people feel respected, they become more cooperative, motivated, and emotionally invested in protecting that relationship. This is why truly charismatic people often appear calm instead of aggressive. They understand something deeply important: people support the people who make them feel valued. That is one of the most powerful psychological truths in human behavior. At the deepest psychological level, respect is not about status. It is about how people feel in your presence. Fear may control behavior temporarily, but only respect creates loyalty. Only respect survives hardship, only respect survives failure, and only respect makes people stand beside you when power disappears. Because in the end, people rarely remember how dominant someone looked. They remember how that person made them feel. Small, invisible, unsafe, valued, or human. And that emotional memory quietly shapes every relationship in their life. The most dangerous people are not always hated. Sometimes they are obeyed, smiled at, praised publicly, while privately everyone is simply waiting for them to fall. And that is the dark psychology of respect. Subscribe if you want to understand the hidden psychology behind human behavior, power, influence, manipulation, emotional control, and the patterns history keeps repeating.
is the layer of strength where small beginnings build powerful legacies.